I'm Jack Roberts, Executive Editor with Heavy Duty Trucking Magazine. Back in August, while I was visiting Cummins headquarters in Columbus, Indiana, I was talking to Jim Nebergall, Executive Director Market Strategy for the OEM. And he said there was some frustration on the part of a lot of engine manufacturers on the fact that CARB seems to not be giving renewable natural gas its due diligence in terms of an alternative green trucking fuel. Flash forward to October, and I'm at the Barber Motor Speedway in Birmingham, Alabama, talking with Kevin Otto, a retired Cummins engineer and now a NAFSE analyst. And I asked him about what I'd heard in Columbus during that visit to Cummins.
So I was in Columbus, your old stomping grounds, about 2 months ago with Jim Nebergall. And he told us, he said, there's a combustion bias at CARB. They don't like combustion engines. And Cummins is really frustrated because they feel that with the X15N, they can really achieve almost 90% of what CARB would like to see happen. So I just want to get some thoughts from you. Do you agree with that assessment? Do you think natural gas is being overlooked? Do you think it has more of a role it could play in helping trucking get better emissions really quickly? So that's the handoff.
Yeah. So what Jim was saying was that if you combine the natural gas product with renewable natural gas that comes from anaerobic digesters, animal waste made from animal waste, you can get pretty close to almost zero carbon output. The problem that I think California is also trying to address, and they don't talk about it that much, is that in inner city areas where there's a lot of truck traffic and things like that, the emissions from the engines are still really important from a health standpoint for the residents of those high population areas, like around ports and things like that. So California's, I'm not saying I agree with this, of course, but California's position is I need to get rid of internal combustion engines in these really concentrated areas because of all the health effects. And by the way, we can do that and also clean up the entire state because we're not meeting the EPA requirements for air quality and things like that. That's a way for them to do that. The good news about a natural gas engine is from a NOx standpoint, which is also a really important emission constituent, it's a heck of a lot better than diesel. And even the very newest diesel regulations at 0.035, you can beat that easily with a natural gas engine. So, the NOx output from them is really good. The other output from them is not so good. So those are things that are not quite regulated to the same degree. So
it's a good stepping stone.
It is a good stepping stone, assuming you can fit it into your fleet strategy in terms of how often you exchange your vehicles and all that kind of stuff. And assuming you can set up your maintenance and technicians and things like that to deal with the extra complication of a different technology, then you're going to have to switch to something different later on. That's a real challenge for some of these fleets, right?
But the infrastructure is there. The technology is mature.
Yeah.
Cummins is ready to produce to scale. So yeah, it seems kind of strange that we're not paying more attention with it.
Right. Yeah. And California is pretty hard over on getting rid of internal combustion engines. There's no doubt about that.